Facebook. It's 6 p.m. in the UK, 7 p.m. in Cape Town in South Africa, and it's 1 p.m. Eastern, and that means that it's Friday, and thank goodness it's Friday, as I say hello to my co-host, Bridgetti. Hello.
Hi, Steven, and how are you today on Friday, the 8th of June, 2018?
Well, it is, yeah. I'm fine, apart from the grey skies. I could do with it, actually, the grey skies going away, the sun coming out, and everything will be better. And yourself? Because you're heading to winter, aren't you?
We're heading to winter, and I don't know if you can notice, but I've got a heater next to me, so the glow of the heater is on me. It's cold, but it's all good, and for us, it's good. It's good news. We're looking forward to some heavy rains tomorrow, and that's exciting. I never thought that I could get this excited about rain before. Previous years, we had rain for 2-3 weeks consecutively before the drought started kicking in. And we hated it. We used to tell people, don't come to South Africa, don't come to Cape Town. In winter, it rains too much. And of course, now it's something different. And, there's so many happy faces whenever we hear the sound of rain or a sign of rain. There's so much happiness in Cape Town, like there is today, because we're expecting some rain tomorrow.
So rain is a celebration.
Absolutely. Really. We do the happy dance.
And Gospel is saying hello to both of us. Hello, nice for you to join us. If you want to come on camera, then I should have it somewhere. If you type guest, you can join us on camera. I know that Marco has typed guest, so hopefully Marco can join us too. And incredibly, Bridgetti and I started broadcasting every Friday 12 months ago. And I can bring up a reminder of that. This is our very first broadcast. And you can see a difference, because in those days, I'm going to take it full screen, we were sat further back from the camera. Now, we're in the middle of the camera. And I think
we have a lot more control.
True. BLIve has improved, and we've improved over the last 12 months. And just to complete that, there's a photo. All these photos are from 12 months ago. And that's when the drought in Cape Town, you started talking about it. I've gone the wrong way. Excuse me. I need to go this way. This is live video. And there we are. So in those days, we were with here as part of BLIve and 5, and we still are. But back in those days, I'll say hello to Jonathan first. To Dean, sorry. Good morning to you, Dean, and we're well, thank you. Hope you are too. BLIve and 5. It started the first week of June last year, and it was busy time, wasn't it? Because in those days when we did the show, we were always answering questions about the technical and procedural methods of working with BLIve. And now
I know. I mean, we were struggling to get through. I think we constantly tried to do a list of about 20 items per show. That's how many questions we had about BLIve. And as you said, those were early days. BLIve was still evolving. It was still in beta. People had a lot of questions. We didn't have all the videos we have now. We didn't have the documentation we have now. We didn't have as huge a team as we have now with BLIve. BLIve didn't have a 24-hour support team the way it has now. The platform itself has evolved in many ways. There's so many new features we've got now, and we have less and less questions coming through. I think because we've got the documentation. We were flying blind most of the time back then. Yeah. Because we were just learning ourselves.
Well, as you said, there were 20 questions a show, and they were all, we didn't have documentation. And just a question from Jonathan, which we'll take now. I'm curious, do you have to pay for BLIve? I thought they have a free version. So we say with
Yes,
no
they
question.
do have a free version. Yes, Dean, there absolutely is a free version. Like with any of the other softwares that you need to pay for, they have a free version where you can go live. I think the limitation is 40 minutes a week. And obviously you don't have all the features. You've got, you can go live using paid for version has got the talk show option, for example, which you don't have on the free version, which allows you all kinds of things. And so yes, there absolutely is a free version. If you want to just dip your toes into live streaming, if you're brand new to live streaming, start with a free version, because you are so nervous in the beginning that you really don't have the capacity to pay attention to all the bells and whistles. So it allows you to start in live streaming, get used to how it feels, and once you've gained a little bit more confidence, you'll be confident enough to be able to live stream, to talk, and use all the other features at the same time.
Totally agree. And the paid version of BLive, if you want to do 16 shows a month, is $15. And if you want to do shows every day of the week, every hour of the day, it's $25. So those are the costs. And just as a note, they are half the cost of competitive products. But there's nothing quite like BLive.tv. Back to the comments that have been made. Cheryl says she just wants to say hello to Bridgetti and Steven. Thank you. And hopes we're having a great day. And yes, we were flying blind in those days. And Charlie's also saying, great, thanks for that, Bridgetti. Just might try the free version first. So there you are. Yeah. So you just
it is great to start the free version because it's very simple to use. Very simple, very easy, straightforward to use. And you don't have to download anything because it's browser-based. And because it's browser-based, you don't need anything else. You literally can start with your computer, start with your built-in camera, start, if you have your, everyone has got a headset these days, your normal earphones, start using that and your built-in camera, and that's it. Anything else can come later as you've gained your confidence and you want to grow and upgrade. But you don't need all the bells and whistles to get started.
Yeah, and Dean is saying that when he first started vlogging, he used a netbook with a 0.3 megapixel camera, and the quality wasn't, well, it's poor quality. Things have come a long way since then, Dean, and we're grateful for that. But everything started somewhere, and where we are now is not a bad place to be. And say hello to Corinda, who's joined us as well. I mean, now we're well placed. I mean, we don't exactly know what's going to come in the coming months, but it is going to be of assistance to us, I'm quite sure, and answer some of the problems that. Because the thing is that if you give us toys to play with, we're going to play with them. And then I'm going to say, well, why can't I do this? Aren't we? Because we're happy with what we've got for a week or two, and then we think, oh, if only I could. And BLive are quite good at actually knowing what we want. But we'll always have a wish list, and I give BLive their due. They actually have a roadmap and they work to it, don't they? I mean, like they surprised us with the 4 people on camera.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that was phenomenal. It was kind of, I think that was a landmark the day we moved to 4 people. And dare I say, I think it's hard to even talk about the time we went to 4 people without mentioning the word blab. Whenever we talk about 4 people on screen, it somehow gravitates to the blab days. And I think, because everyone has so many happy memories about what it was like on blab, we wanted some of that happiness back. And that's exactly what BLive TV has offered us, some of that happiness back, the ability to have 4 people on screen. And that's been great. And it's not just 4 people on screen. It's also the ability to move those 4 people around according to a configuration that works. Like you can, for example, you can highlight the person that's speaking. You can go to just one person to focus on them. You know, if you don't have 4 people, it also allows you to add a picture on screen to fill it up. And then you can highlight the picture that's the focus of your conversation. Or every time someone is speaking, you can highlight that person. So there are different options that are available. It's not just 4 equal squares. You can put it around depending on how many guests you have, or pictures or slides that you want to show in your live stream. So BLive has given us some amazing tools. And I think one of the ones I love about BLive is the fact that you can brand yourself. You can have your own logo on screen. As you can see on screen right now, we've got a beautiful logo for the Live Video Hub. It's a gorgeous, even if I have to say so myself, it's a gorgeous logo. So you can brand yourself with a logo. You can brand yourself with a frame around the screen. You can brand yourself with lower thirds. So you've got amazing options to brand and monetize your live stream with the branding if that's what you're doing.
Yep.
So yay to BLive. Thank you, BLive, for all the tools that you've provided us with. And this show also has come about. I mean, BLive in 5 has also become a hallmark of the BLive brand.
That's true. If you were to Google us, you would find us straight away, because over the last year we've done hundreds of shows and enjoyed doing so, all on BLive.tv. And just to catch up with the comments, and Gospel is saying, right, sorry, let's go in. Dean is saying he agrees things have definitely got better, which we agree with. Gospel is saying, did my first guest live show on Wednesday using BLive? It went well. Hooray! Well done.
Yay!
Well done. And now you've been bitten by the BLive bug, and you'll be doing lots more shows, which is all good. And Cheryl is saying,
and Cheryl said goodbye.
Oh, right, just a minute. All right, Cheryl, thank you for joining us, and take care, and we'll see you again soon. And that's the other thing, we've made friends around the globe.
Yes.
Hundreds of people have become involved.
And you know what it is? It's because, you know, we live in a world where people have become keyboard warriors, and there's a lot of ugliness going on in the internet. But with live streaming, it's completely different. We can see each other. We can relate to each other. We can see each other's facial expressions. It allows us to really get to know each other behind, you know, other than behind a keyboard where we're faceless. But when we're on camera, people get to see who we really are. It allows us to make authentic friends with people we otherwise would not have met. And I mean, I'd be remiss not to mention the benefits of the Live Video Hub here. One of the benefits of the Live Video Hub, for example, is that we now not only go live within our own network, we now, because of the cross-posting that Facebook has allowed us to do, we can tap into that, and using the Live Video Hub, we now have access to each other's networks. So we get to know more people.
Totally true, and including Mike Phillips, who we met through the Live Video Hub, and he says he's always asking the questions, what if, or why not? Okay, and Dean says he's going to check BLive out, so that's good. And if you need help, Bridgetti and I are here. And Cheryl was congratulating Gospel, and right, okay, I'm going to check that out before I actually post it on the screen, Corinda. But I'll post this one. BLive TV is great. We'll allow you that one. And okay.
A Gospel saying she's got another one tomorrow, another show. So wishing you well with that. I'm sure you will do well. You know, once you've got the first one under your belt, the next one and the next one becomes easier and easier. And here's a little secret. You start off with so much nerves when you start going live. That is just the truth. There's no way around it. And that's perfectly normal and natural. You know, you are a bunch of nerves and you sit there and you just cannot push the go live button. And that does carry on for a long time because it's normal. But I can tell you, even after broadcasting for so long now, there still is that little element that you have every time you go live. And I mean, I enjoy it now. I really love going live and talking live on camera. But one still has that little bit of, I don't know if it ever completely goes away. How do you find that, Steven?
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't completely go away. And I think it's a good thing because when you first start broadcasting, first few minutes are crucial. And if the nervous energy just before a show can be channeled into actually getting the show off to a cracking start, then it's good to have it there. And it's only natural. I mean, once we've sat chatting together, then it disappears entirely. But for the first few minutes before you go live, first few minutes when you are live, you're bound to have something like that. And Mike is saying he's traditionally recorded his podcast, but he's starting a series using BLIFbot next week titled Live Leadership Lessons. Look forward to seeing that, Mike, and of course on the Live Video Hub and on your page too.
Wishing you well with that, Mike.
Indeed. And Mike is saying BLIFbot is truly the easiest platform to go live on Facebook, and he's used a lot of them. Well, we've used a lot of them too. I mean, if we go back to Blab, I mean, that was over 2 years ago, and we went on Blab to Fire Talk to, I'm forgetting them now, Smile Time.
There's been a ton of them, you know, they've been pretty prolific. I mean, even recently, it's like the live streaming world has started to explode. There are so many options to going live. But I have to say, I mean, you've said it earlier, in terms of, I mean, a lot of them, there's a lot available, but the cost factor, if you have to think about it when you're starting out, I mean, Zoom, for example, is an astronomical $50 a month if you're wanting to go live on Facebook and YouTube. And a lot of the software out there is around that pricing, and that's why we could say with confidence that BLIFe is half that price. So for someone starting out, definitely, and also ease of use. It's amazingly easy to learn how to use BLIFe. It's a bit overwhelming in the beginning, like everything else, but it really is very easy to learn. It's been made very easy to learn.
I think that they do keep to the KISS principle, which is to keep it simple. And everything's alpha tested and beta tested and tested. Well, it's tested a lot before we actually see it. So any improvement, they can just slot in and know that it works. So they've got groups of people behind the scenes who are actually testing everything that's going to be coming in future months. And I'm trying to get on the inside loop and find out what's going on, but they don't tell everybody, which is the way it should be, I suppose. I mean,
it keeps the surprise element healthy and natural and exciting.
it does. And just taking a trip down memory lane, can you remember this, which was our first. Our show cards have changed as well, because our first show card was that. In fact, there was a yellow one before that.
There was.
Looking back at it now, it was a bit garish. I don't know. I was going through my yellow period then, I think. But we've gone from there, and now we're our show card is this one, and it says who we are, it says what we're talking about, and it gives the date and time, and that's what you need on a show card. Now, talking of show cards, RJ and I are putting together a discovery bot, so that when you go on the live video hub, as a viewer, you can go to one of 5 categories, select the category, then select a subcategory, and then you'll find the shows that broadcast on that topic. Okay, so we're doing discoverability, thing we've talked about for 2 years, either next week or the week after, not to put too much pressure on RJ. We'll come to reality, and you'll be able to find shows by topic. So at the moment, we've got 134 shows on the live video hub, and those shows, incredibly, I'm just trying to find my live video hub thing. Yeah, the live video hub. We've got 134 broadcasters, and they broadcast on 64 different topics. So there's such variety on BLIFbot.tv shows. It's amazing. And RJ has distilled it down into 5 main categories, and then you can go down, and there are 11 chat shows on BLIFe. I mean,
it's amazing.
It's crazy. And there are 15 business consultants as well. So if you want to know more about a live video hub, I'm just about to put the link onto Facebook. And if you want to go and check out the videos there, at the moment you can scroll through all the videos. You'll see myself and Bridgetti live. But in addition to that, you'll see any blurred photograph is a show that's going to be on later. And you can actually watch over 360 videos, which all went live on the hub, and you can watch the recordings. You could search for RJ or bots and get all the shows that RJ has ever done about bots. You can search for Bridgetti and find all the shows Bridgetti has been part of that have been on the hub, and you can search for me. You can also search for our next guest, who's almost ready, and I'm waiting for a thumbs up. And I think we say hello to 3, 2, 1, Marco. Hello, Marco. You're live.
Hello. There's some kind of delay here.
Oh, right. Okay.
A little bit. Hi, Marco. Welcome.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Where are you based, Marco?
Let me.
Right.
Okay. Now I had the sound in 2 places, so it was doing a overlap and or a feedback or something. A very weird thing. Now I muted the tab, which
brilliant.
was with Facebook.
Yeah,
it's just here.
The thing to remember is never have, if you are watching the live stream on Facebook while you're streaming, turn the volume down. Don't have the volume on all, otherwise you're going to be getting feedback.
Yeah.
Bridgetti, I'd like you to meet Marco. Marco is in Portugal.
Yeah, on the north.
His English is better than my Portuguese.
Oh, I guess it is.
I have threatened to learn to count to 10 when I'm on his show again, because I had the pleasure of chatting. We had the pleasure of chatting for an hour early last month. So, Marco, welcome to this show.
Thank you.
And your thoughts on, well, first of all, Bridgetti, Marco, Bridgetti. Bridgetti's in Cape Town, South Africa.
Nice to meet you. Well, I have a brother-in-law that's also Portuguese.
Oh, really?
But I don't speak Portuguese.
You should learn.
Yes.
Do you know from where he is?
My goodness, I forgot now. He's going to hit me over my head.
Oh, you should ask. We are a small country. Maybe he's a neighbor.
You never know. You know, he's got
yeah.
family there. He doesn't live in Portugal. They live in Canada, actually.
Okay, we have people there.
But
also.
his family lives in Portugal.
Yeah. Usually we have many immigrants, mostly in France, and some in Venezuela, also Brazil, Canada also, and a few in South Africa, because we had some countries in Africa: Angola, Mozambique, Cape Verde, and Guinea, and some of them went to South Africa.
Well, I must admit, I mean, in South Africa, we have a huge Portuguese population.
We are all over the world.
Well, what can I say? I mean, we've become very global. We're all global citizens, and restrictions are placed on us by our governments. But if we didn't have that, we'd be living wherever we please.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
There'd be a lot of choices then. I mean, where would you go? I mean, I would love to go to Fiji, but I don't think I could live there all year round.
Yeah, maybe.
To be honest, I mean, I would love to travel more. My only restriction is the fact that I have issues with my back and I don't travel very well because of that. But if I had to be honest, I don't think I would like to live anywhere else in the world except where I am in Cape Town.
Yeah, we were.
I mean, the fact that we've got a drought. Yeah, the weather here is great. We don't have extremes in weather. Some of the highline parts may get snow in winter, but it doesn't get that cold. It doesn't get that hot. Spring is beautiful. Summers are beautiful. So from a weather perspective, Cape Town is a great place to live.
Mm-hmm. I know. I guess. I've never been there.
Come and visit.
Yeah.
You've got a friend in Cape Town.
So to be honest, there's a thing that's on my bucket list, which is there's some kind of lions, how do you call it? Places to keep the lions and to raise them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some kind of camps where you can go and treat the lions and some other wild animals. And that's on my bucket list to go there. And I guess most of them are in South Africa. Maybe some in Zimbabwe, but I guess that most of them are in South Africa.
Yes, do come visit when you get the opportunity. And hello,
Okay.
I see we've just been joined by, who did I see there a second ago? Jason. Hi, Jason. Welcome.
Hello, Jason. That surname is very common here in Portugal, Franco, and on Spain also.
Well, an invitation to Jason then.
I must tell you another common name. I was going to name my son Miguel.
Oh,
and,
yes.
And my sister-in-law said, that's such a common name in Portuguese.
Yeah.
In Portugal.
And mostly it comes together with another one. For instance, Antonio Miguel, Pedro Miguel, Luis Miguel, Ricardo Miguel. It's a name which goes together with another one most of the time. Yeah.
Okay. So my son has Miguel as a second name now.
Great. So, Steven.
Yep.
You are very quiet.
I'm listening. I'm listening and watching the comments. You know what it's like when you're hosting the show. You've got so many things to watch, and trying not to miss the comments.
It's funny because some I guess 1 month ago or something, I had an interview to a podcast, to another. I was uninvited, and people I send the podcast and asked people to listen. So some friends of mine, and they said to me, "Well, you were talking all the time." The interviewer was allowed to speak, and I said, "Well, because usually I'm the host and I can't speak as I want. So then when I'm the guest, whoa, I go.
Well, yeah, take advantage of it.
Very different example.
Yeah, it is.
It is. As host, your job is to listen and to make sure that there are no gaps.
And make the maintenance and so on.
Yeah.
I want to pick up on a comment that Mike made in the comments earlier. He said, I heard one claim that by the end of 2019, 80% of internet interactions will include or be heavily based around video/live video. Already the component has become very popular. It's very high. And so already it's ranked quite high in terms of marketing. Yeah. So if your marketing doesn't include a component of live video in some or the other form, you really are doing yourself and your business or your brand a huge injustice.
Yeah,
even if you start off, if you're not able to or don't have the ability to do live streaming on a regular basis just yet, some people have reported that even if they did a video, an introduction video to their business and posted that on their website, it made a huge difference, because you're literally allowing your website to you're taking the words off the page and allowing people to see who you are. You know, who are the people behind the website?
Absolutely.
Because I mean, websites are a dime a dozen. Every Dick, Tom, and Harry has got a website. And how do you set yourself apart? You can set yourself apart by incorporating video into your website. Allow people, introduce yourself, introduce your brand, introduce the people behind your brand to your clients, and you're going to see the huge difference it makes.
Yeah, it is.
Because you can embed Facebook video into your website. People can watch it live on your website as opposed to being on Facebook, and that's all to the good. Now, Marco, you're actually using a video in teaching and education.
Yeah, it is. And the things go together. I mean, because I'm a marketing professional, I truly believe in the power of video, mostly live video. I've been doing lots of live videos and long ones. For instance, this week I made one with almost 2 hours and a half, and yesterday I guess it was an hour and something more, 10 minutes.
Are these for yourself or for clients, Marco?
For me and for my community. I'm doing interview format because it's better I guess, because the conversation it's more people would like, and you can bring another specialists to talk to your community, to bring some new things, bring another value, bring new ideas. My invited people, my guests, oh my God, my English, I need to do this more often.
Don't worry, your English is good. And yes, you can come on our show more often.
Yeah, because for instance, it's one of the problems to go live. Oh, I'm not prepared, my English is not good, my Spanish, because most of my live videos, I've been doing them in Spanish, because I'm doing an approach to the Spanish speaking market, not just Spain, because there's a big community in the South America, Central America, and even in North America speaking Spanish. And so I'm doing, and because the Spanish speaking professionals are very good in marketing. So I've been doing, and that's one thing. Oh, I'm not prepared. My Spanish is not good. My light is not good. My internet is not good. But do it, because you won't improve if you don't practice.
We totally agree with that, don't we, Bridgetti?
I absolutely 100% agree with you. You've got to focus on your why, your message, because absolutely. You know what the thing is, when it comes to when it comes to the quality of your show, it's going to be used to improve your quality. There's always going to be something that you can do better, bigger, faster. It's a moving target.
Yeah.
So just dive in and start with what you have. I mean, when I first started, I had my computer with a built-in camera. I didn't have any extra lighting. I didn't have an extra microphone. Those are things you can get later. Don't get hung up by the technology and so make sure you've got a good internet speed, and that's really all you need to get started with. All the bells and whistles can come later.
I don't even have a good internet connection.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen the video Steven made to the Udemy course, and I did the test, and I guess you talk about 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
Yeah, I have 0.678. It depends. Is that a problem to me? No.
Bridgetti?
Let's do it.
That's pretty good, actually. Considering, and I know initially with BLive, you needed a minimum of 5 on the upload. But a lot more people have been reporting that they are able to stream with a lower upload speed. I know Irene in the Philippines has also been struggling with not great upload speeds there, but she's doing just fine.
Yeah.
And I think I found that the lowest you can get away with roughly is 0.5.
Okay.
As an absolute minimum. I think anything lower than that with you cannot stream. It's not possible.
Maybe. But
I mean, you look pretty clear. From what I can see, you look very clear.
Indeed.
And it's great to hear that someone like yourself is well allowed that to hold you back either. So the message is just get started. Don't get hung up on the technology.
One thing for me, it's the mandatory, which is you have to have a good message. Don't go say silly things just because you want to go live. No, for me, you have to put you need to bring value to your audience. That's the only point for me that it's important, really important. I mean, because the light doesn't. It's good if it's a nice one. The sound should be good. It's important because you can watch a video with a not so good image, but with the not so good sound, you won't listen. It's important there.
That's true.
It's very important.
That's a very good point that you make there. Before if you are paying attention to your tech, your sound is going to be the most important thing. And I want to tell you guys what I've done actually. I've got a condenser microphone. And I've actually got it mounted just above my camera now, which is actually quite high up and quite far away from where I am. But the reason I wanted to mount my camera away from where I am is I hated the fact that when my microphone was on my desk, when I'm producing, you could hear the clicking sound of the mouse, or if you were typing something, you could hear the keyboard, and I absolutely didn't like that. So it's one of the reasons you can have a boom arm if you've got one. I had one, but I was, I didn't like the clutter. So I found a way of mounting it above my camera, and it's working perfectly for me now.
But I don't use it. I have the microphone some away from me, just a nice distance. I guess you can listen to me, so I guess it's okay. One thing that for me
sounds good, Marco.
I have a nice microphone. For me, it's very cute. Blue Snowball. I can do some advertising here.
Oh yeah. There's always a hope that they will see it and they will say, Marco, we want to sponsor you. And
okay, absolutely.
Right, and Jason's just brought up a point. He said you may not like Twitch then. Now, first question is, Jason, why wouldn't we like Twitch? And the second thing is that I've heard that a lot of people are actually moving to Twitch as well as doing Facebook. I mean, Twitch, as we know,
I heard that as well, and I'm also interested in why you're saying you may not like Twitch. Then I'm not sure whether you were talking to me, Jason, or whether you were talking to Marco. So can you clarify?
Yeah, please.
I never tried Twitch.
I mean, I know social geeks are actually moving to Twitch. They're effectively going less on Facebook and more on Twitch.
Gamers go there, right? I guess it's more gamers go there to play.
I believe that initially it was started as a gamers platform.
Gamers with glamour, glamours.
Glamorous gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was started for gamers, and there's still a lot of gamers there. But more and more broadcasters are going over there, chat shows and what have you, going over there.
Live streaming, I did with the old one, Blab, which you were talking some minutes ago. It was where I started. I loved the tool. I loved it. It was my first time. After
it was
that,
ours as well.
I made some in Hangouts. And after I came to Facebook, I guess I made 1 or 2 on Periscope and some in Instagram, but mostly I guess I hover past the 100 in Facebook.
All right. Now we have an explanation from Jason, and Jason is saying that Twitch is on the fly most of the time, just a camera in the room. So it's not.
I think we actually spoke about that last week when Jason was on the show with us, and he was saying you can literally switch on Twitch and carry on doing whatever it is you're doing, and check in now and then when somebody makes a comment. But it's kind of like a fly on the wall.
Right, so it's basically a conversation going on and you're just watching the conversation.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. As Jensen's saying, there's no real planning in the streams, which brings us to Gospel's question, what's special about Twitch? Now, it's very difficult. This is why we need David Burrows, who's our friend in Ontario in Canada, because if David was around, he could come in. He's on Twitch 2 or 3 times a week. And I think you've got to be on a platform to actually say what the benefits are. But
absolutely.
There's a different community over there, and of course the other thing is the quality of the video. Whilst we're live now, the quality is, thank you Facebook, it's pretty darn good. But once we've finished and we've got the recording, if we try to take the recording away from Facebook, then the quality of the recording is degraded. On Twitch, the quality stays. So there is a quality factor in there. And the other thing about Twitch, which people love, is that it is Google friendly. And the other thing that people love is it's not Facebook.
It's a good point.
True. I mean, we tend to think we're on Facebook. We're on Facebook most days because our friends are on Facebook, or global friends are on Facebook. But that's 2.3 billion people. That's not the whole planet. We've still got a fair ways to go before we've got everybody on Facebook. And there are people who, I mean, Jason's makes the point, and Jason's with us, which is brilliant. None of his clients are on Facebook. They do video, they do quality video, but they'd actually do it on YouTube and not on Facebook. So, you know, I mean, we are, I've got to say, we're just at the start of things. And while there are only so many hours in the day, there's always something new to explore. And I'm looking forward to actually being on Twitch and just trying it out, see how it fits. Yeah. And RJ has joined us, so welcome to RJ.
Hello, RJ.
Right. And
My sister-in-law just sent me a message to say that Anthony Bourdain has also sadly died. Also suicide, which is rather sad. Both he and Kate Spade left behind teenage daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Always very sad to get news like that.
Yeah.
It is. And I mean, our thoughts go out to his family and friends, but we live in a global village. I mean, news like that just travels around the globe, and we get to find out about it so quickly. I suppose, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I mean, we do literally live in a global village, and nothing. I think we hear things faster now than we would have. We no longer have to wait for something to get printed in a newspaper. We almost hear things instantaneously. And I guess, one can get overloaded at some point, but you need to remember that you're in complete control over what you see or consume digitally.
Mm-hmm.
It is up to you anyway. You can decide how much you want to consume and when you want to consume it. You don't have to be connected 24/7 if that's not what you want to do.
That's very true.
But the algorithms, they somehow decide what we'll see. I mean,
very true. Very true. We're not in control.
Yeah, not so controlling as we wanted. And there's one thing that I was thinking about. That's the kind of relation we make with the people we met on internet, celebrities, for instance, with the social networks, because in the past days we see them on television, newspapers, some magazines, and so on, but that's all. But now we see them more often. We can talk with them and so on, and so we can meet someone, a celebrity, but they become part of the family, for instance, or even closer.
It's because we feel a connection with them, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we see the family, we see the room, the living room, the studio, the kitchen. We see them cooking and so on, and it makes a huge difference. And that goes to the conversation we had before about the companies and so on, that we can do this kind of work with our clients. I mean, because we had that kind of thing. Okay, I'll sell you something, you buy me something, and that's all. But today we could and we should keep the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, it basically kind of pulls the curtain back on the personality, the real person, and who they are, and what they really are like in a more authentic way.
Yeah,
previously we had to rely on what we read, and very often what we read was influenced by the author.
Yeah,
whereas now you get to know the person in their real environment, in their kitchen, as you said, very often, and you can make out whether or not you like the person. It's no longer dependent on what someone else has written about them.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. We can make our own judgments more, and decide for ourselves. So that's definitely a good thing. And I'm just looking at the comments, and the comments have gone a little bit quiet. Right, okay. Now the other thing I just want to go quickly through before we get the add an agenda. BLIVE in 5 is still going. If you're new to live broadcasting, then there is a course on Udemy which you can take, which will actually help you to go live on BLIFbot.tv. If you've never broadcast before, I'm just going to post a link. And if you haven't broadcast before and you want to know more about how it's done, then you can take this course, free course on Udemy, which has 4,300 students, and we've trained BLIV in 5.0 last year has trained hundreds, if not thousands, of people how to go live using BLIFbot.tv. So great. Shout out to everybody in BLIV in 5. Not with us today are Adair Palmer, April Roga, David Burrows, and a question from Corinda earlier about the other David. Now, the other David, David Vaughan, who was with us a year ago, he's actually, in the real world, he's got a very busy job, so he's done less video. But if you want to find David Vaughan, you can find him over on YouTube. That's where he's broadcasting at the moment. So many choices. But I mean, essentially, the 6 friends who started this are still connected. And I think that's basically down to the fact that we all get on so well and we enjoy helping people, and BLIV are doing such a good job. I mean, what are your thoughts on BLIV, Marco?
Well, it's a very nice tool, as you said before. I've been using as you said before, a lot of times. But I guess it's the most easiest tool to do Facebook Live, because some of them you have to set a lot of things, but in BLIV with 10 clicks you set everything. And it's very easy to manage during the live and so on. It's a very nice tool. And you talked about something that is very important, the community. We talked, I guess, some days ago in another show you made about the community spirit we have here, wanting to help and so on. I truly believe in this kind of approach, helping each other and the community. I truly believe in this, and I'm comfortable talking about this because I have my way proving that. I really like to help, and I really like, for instance, when they made the video call survey on Skype. I was doing some classes, and I was talking about inbound marketing. I don't know if you know the inbound marketing approach. It's
the floor is yours. Carry on.
Okay, and it's a kind of a new approach when someone unknown to a company, for instance, go to a search engine and does a search and finds you, okay, in the results, becomes unknown to a visitor, okay? After that, for instance, he goes to a blog article, you put a lead magnet, for instance, a guide or something, they give you the email, okay? It generates a lead, okay? After that, you should do something to that lead becomes a customer. Okay, and after that, a customer should be a promoter, an evangelist, or something. Okay, one of the practices to convert a client in a promoter is to ask them, do surveys and so on. And what did BLIV asked me? Did a survey, but by video, which is okay. It's you have to invest in time, because it's not a form you put some crosses or clicks and so on. They have to invest in time at least. And I was talking about this example, and at the end, because I talk often in BLIV, and at the end, look, it works, right? Because which brand I'm talking now? Which brand I'm promoting now? BLIV.
Exactly.
It's perfect. So I guess it's a very nice tool. Tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, we've all become, by default, well, we've all become brand champions for BLIFe because we've been given this system which simply works and works very easily, and we love using it. And every time that we say, you know, we'd like this, they've come along and said, well, you've got it. And they've built a community. I mean, they've gone. Let's just look at this. They started in September 2016 with an announcement in Tel Aviv in a local newspaper. Yeah. In October 2016, they spoke to Annie Moura, and I'll speak about Annie in a minute, who is based in Canada, and they told him about the BLIFe.tv, and he said, right, I'll tell a few of my friends. So 14th of October 2016, he told a few of his friends. They used it the following day. Then they told their friends, who told their friends, and we've got to the stage now where there have been, in the last 18 months, 330 million people have watched videos that have gone out on this system. And from a standing start, that's fantastic. And they haven't spent money in advertising. It's all been by word of mouth, by recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the way it should be done, because it's community. It's what they did right and what they still do right is the social side of it.
See, absolutely.
That's a huge component. You know, if you look at how the community has grown organically, and is still growing organically, it's living proof of the fact that that the system works.
Yeah. And for instance, the way they use influencers, because I've seen, I don't remember if it was Kim Garst or Mary Smith that were making a broadcast with BLIFe and told that it was a very nice tool. But for instance, if Kim Garst was talking about the shampoo, I could doubt if they use it or not. But they are using it, so I should believe, right? It's different.
Yeah, I mean,
I think, you know, a great thing also for BLIFe is when you have a brand champion of the caliber of someone like Maury Smith, for example, you know, Joel Com. Those are people who in their own right have been very well known in Facebook circles. I mean, Maury is known as the queen of Facebook, and she uses and promotes BLIFe as being a platform that is great.
Yeah.
You know, it helps her grow her brand. So that must tell you something. If you just someone new on Facebook, do you not want to go and use something that's recommended by someone like Maury Smith? You know, the other day she was using a different software and she switched over to BLIFe because she said, you know, in whatever conditions you have, BLIFe, because it's browser based, just works. So that's a really good recommendation.
Absolutely.
True. And talk about recommendations and word of mouth. We have a friend who is, you finish the recording on Facebook, you download it and you push it onto YouTube and you push it to SoundCloud. Now that's a very labor intensive routine. It takes about half an hour to do that, to get it from one place to another, get it settled.
Good question. I was about to ask you that.
Right. Timing, you see. Timing, sixth sense.
Yeah, perfect.
Right. And 18 months ago, our friend Annie Moura put together a piece of software called Repurpose.io. And Repurpose.io will download the video from Facebook, upload it to YouTube, upload it to Google Drive and Dropbox, take an MP3 to create a podcast and put that onto SoundCloud for you. It will take your video from your page and put it as an original video in the group on Facebook, and it simply works. I mean, you set up, we're all Europeans here, aren't we? You set up a route, because if there are Americans watching, I have to say route. You set up a route to go from A to B, and it simply does it. Does everything it's told to go from A to B, and you can set up as many routes as you want for as many pages as you want, and it just works. You can go to another video, you can go to MP3, you can upload all that magical stuff. Now, Annie's got a team doing that, but just to go to word of mouth, yesterday, Annie was celebrating, and still celebrating today, that he had got his 2,000th user, which again is from a standing start, is quite an achievement without any overt marketing. So a shout out to Annie and the team in Canada for repurpose.io. And if you're looking to try it, then you've got a free trial where you can just test it. Speech, advertising.
I've seen a Spanish professional which makes lots of live videos. Lately, my Facebook feed is full with the things it does in repurpose.io. Podcasts with that thing and so on. Always passing by. It seems it's because it's very tricky to do all that work.
Well, it's time. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's time consuming. Yeah.
Time.
And
anyway.
For instance,
well, guess what? Top of the hour. Can you believe it?
Amazing. Right now, I know that this week you've been doing 2 and 3 hour shows, Marco.
Yeah.
we
Next
normally
week also, I guess.
Just a big thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to chat.
I need to do it more often because it's really nice. Yeah.
You do. And we need to come on your show as well.
Okay, when you want. And you, Bridget, also.
Thank you, Marco. And thank you for joining us. It was great having you. I mean, this was the first time I've met you on a broadcast. Yeah. So it was great. Thank you.
Yeah. As Steven said when he did the live with me, and I've been thinking about it, and it's very true. It's a nice way to make friends, this kind of things, because it's a contact more close. It's really nice. Thank you to having me here, and have a nice week.
It's a big pleasure.
And all the audience.
Thank you, Marco. Where can people find you before you leave? Where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram with the same username, MFC Novo. And I'm also in YouTube. Just type Marco Novo. I guess my logo will appear. It's a Spartan helmet, yellow and brown, and with my name. And I have also my company Facebook page, which is marconovo.net. And I guess that's all.
Brilliant.
And LinkedIn also, with the same username, MFC Novo. Fantastic.
That's so great. Thank you very, very much for joining us. And thank you to everyone who's joined us live today. There was Gospel, Corinda, RJ, Jason, Dean. Did I miss anyone else?
No, you've done rather well there. There's the people who Mike Phillips.
Yes, Mike as well. Missed Mike.
Cheryl. Dean.
Yes, Cheryl as well.
The list goes on.
So thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for joining us live today. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's commented. Thank you to everyone who's reacted to the show. And thank you to everyone who shared the broadcast. And thank you to everyone for joining us. This is a year since Steven and I started broadcasting together. So this was a celebratory broadcast. So thank you to everyone who's joined us over the past year, who's watched the show grow and develop with BLive TV. Thank you to everyone who comments. Thank you to those who have sent us questions from the BLivers group. Thank you to BLive. So, and don't stop with the questions. We do still check the BLivers group from time to time. Questions, and if there are any, we'll put them into the show. So don't stop. We know that there's new people that's joining us all the time. So the questions can keep coming. We really don't mind. So thank you, everyone. It was a phenomenal broadcast and show. Steven, where can everyone find you apart from here?
Well, you can find me on at the moment on the Live Video Hub, and you can message me there. I've just actually put in, we found the show from 12 months ago. I just put a link in to the show. So if you want to watch what Bridgetti and I looked like and what BLive looked like 12 months ago, then just click the link. But other than that, you'll find me on Facebook.
Same with me. Everyone, thank you so much. You can find me on the show here on the Live Video Hub. You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Bridgetti Limbanda, and you can also find me on YouTube under Bridgetti Limbanda. Thank you, everyone. It was a phenomenal show. Have a super, super, super weekend, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same place on BLive in 5.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.